Hi, everybody. Welcome to Serenity Cards and Coaching. My name is Lela Meinke, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and certified Gallup Clifton Strengths Coach. I'm here today with the 12 weeks of Christmas, and we are going to set the table today, and I am so excited. You are getting access to both this YouTube and this PDF, which is chock full of step-by-step instructions because you're an email subscriber, and I thank you. This is exclusive content for you. We are going to set the table today, and we're going to make three things that we can, three just decorations, special decorations we can have on the table. We can dress it up, we can dress it down, and so we've got a sweet little candy nugget. I'll give instructions for that guy. We've got a sweet silverware holder that we can personalize using the Alpha Best. And we've got a sweet little place card with a little easel fold. So we're going to go ahead and put this to the side, and we're going to go ahead and get started today. By the way, this is 12 weeks to a Wow Christmas with Bethany and Lela. And Bethany and I are taking turns featuring projects each week. Last week we did the countdown blocks. Oh my goodness, I'll go get them. I didn't even have them over here. This is week 11 in the countdown. And this week was my turn, so we're gonna set the table decorations. So we're gonna start out simply, very, very simply. And honestly, you can use this for beyond more than just a table decoration. You can just add a sweet little pop if you're having a candy tray, if you have guests over, or giving a little treat bag to someone. But basically, this little guy is 1 3/4 by 1 inch. You know, he was a little scrap, actually, after I was done cutting some things. So just a tip about decorating this nugget. You know, anytime we're working with food, we want to be careful. And so when I first did it, I put glue on the back of it, and then the glue got a little bit crazy, and then the glue got, you also want to watch out for little hair. So the glue got a little bit crazy, and it got like a little bit under the seams. So this time I'm using glue dots. So you just want to make sure anytime you're working with food that you're being really, really careful and treating it food first and foremost. And if you're a demonstrator and you're selling food at craft fairs, I think they have different rules about treatments. But of course, you just want to make sure you follow all the sanitation, you know, washing your hands and just treating it carefully and putting it in food safe containers and all of that. So anyway, I put little glue dots, one at the top, one on each side, and then I've already made my cute little bow. So I'm going to pop him on with a mini glue dot, and that's going to be our sweet little nugget. So there we have it. Now the supplies that I'm using today, this is the Distressed Gold specialty paper, and it is scrumptious. And then this is a special gold and vanilla bow and ribbon, and I love that as well. So that's it, you guys. That's our sweet little nugget, and then we'll move on to some of the more interesting, maybe a little more difficult elements. So you guys, guess what this is made of? You know, we don't have the envelope scoreboard anymore. So how did I get this shape? Could be a piece of cardstock, but in fact, it is a slimline envelope. And so we've been busy here in Santa's little workshop, making a variety of things. I'm going to have another way to show you how to use this slimline envelope as well in the future with a gift card. I made a really, really super fun fold. But basically, I'm cutting this slimline in half, and the 1/2 inch mark is 4 3/8 inch. And so just on your scoreboard, if you're using your scoreboard, these are 1/16 of an inch mark. So we're going to get to 4 3/8. I actually put a little pencil dot where I wanted it. And so now I've got 2 equal size envelopes. If you're going to use this guy, just make sure to put a little, you know, adhesive on the back, or honestly, if you wanted this flap, you could even cut that off and use that flap and somehow just seal that off. But we're not going to use this guy. We're going to save him for later. We're going to use this half. And now I've got a nice enclosure for my silverware. And so I'll take you through some of the steps here. Again, all of the instructions and alternative ideas are in the PDF, including all the measurements, etc. But I'll let you know what they are here. So this is 4 1/4 inch by 3 3/4. And I've chosen to use kind of the scallop theme throughout. You're going to see that throughout. And so you guys, this would be great. This particular design would be great for, with this green, you could do Christmas, you could do Thanksgiving. I think, you know, maybe you could do birthday. So it's really, it goes a little more, I want to make sure I'm right side up, and I am. This is definitely festive. This is the Lights Aglow Designer Series paper, and oh my goodness, it is scrumptious. It's definitely festive, but it doesn't only say Christmas. You could use this for a number of different things. So, so now I'm going to go ahead and use, I'm going to keep with the gold specialty paper. I've got the same thing going across all of the different projects. And so this is gold, the designer, the distressed gold specialty paper. And this is basically 1 inch wide. And it's exactly 4 scallops. And so where I can, just some little tips for really, really making it polished. Like this was a long strip. This was the scallop from the Scalloped Contours dies. And so I cut it out and it was really, really long. Where you can, you want to try to cut so that it's got nice even edges on both sides. If I needed to be a different shape, I would maybe cut at the 1/2 inch mark and the 1/2 inch mark. So you just want to do it so it's pleasing to the eye and give that extra little attention to detail. I'm going to use just a little strip of glue right here. Again, I'm going to keep it away from where the silverware might touch it because I'm just being mindful that this is a food item. You know, it'll be near food. So I'm going to pop that little scallop on there and I'm going to take him close to the edge, and it's as simple as that. But we can dress him up a little bit. And so how I dressed him up a little bit was I added these, they're called red and green adhesive backed pearls, and I used the gold ones out of it. And I just put a nice little gold pearl in the middle of each scallop, and I just thought that added a really, really, really nice touch. So we're going to go ahead and add those, and we'll come back in and decorate with the ribbon in a bit. But I did want to show you, how did I get the name? So this is also a Scalloped Contours, and you know, I don't always take the time to poke out those little holes, but when I'm making something formal, if you will, I for sure want to pay attention to every little detail. So I've got my scallop there. Now, luckily, Bob and I have short names, right? So I was able to make his letters and my letters, and they would both fit on there. But let me show you briefly how I did the letters, and then we'll pop those on. So I'm using the Alpha Best. You guys know Bethany and I love this stamp set and this bundle. I'm using Alpha Best with the punch and with the stamps. And I have, let me just get these really quickly. I'm using Versamark, and I'm using Basic White. And I've, oh my gosh, whole big stamp room, and I need a Basic White scrap. So I'm going to use my embossing tray, and I'm going to use the brush on my scrap, and I'm going to use my little tweezers, and I'm going to use my embossing buddy. So if you haven't considered getting this embossing kit, or even if you are considering, it's so worth it. Oh my gosh, I love it. So first of all, the embossing buddy. It's always great to have multiple of them if you've already got one, because you can use it for mixed media. You can one pure, and you can use one for mixed media. If you don't have one, they're an absolute must. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my B. I've already done them here, so I'm just kind of showing you some tips for embossing and how I got these made. So I used my embossing buddy to really, really clean first, really get all fingerprints, all oil, all everything off. Now I'm going to come in with my brush, and I'm going to brush around the letter. And sometimes I even give a good like thump on the back. I found that when I'm doing it with these letters, just because of the size, it kind of thumps too much off of them. But sometimes I'll give it a good thump. So now, and I'll give it a good blow. And I'm looking and I see great. I don't see any little specks around. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And I'm going to put my Versamark off to this side. I've been using my heat gun so much. Oops, sorry about the jiggle. I've been using my heat gun so much that I found a new place right under my, hold on, it's going to make a noise for a second. All right. I wanted to take a moment. Some of you are veteran embossers, you know how to do it, and some of you are newer, or need a refresher. So I wanted to show you. Basically, it turns into a plastic. What you want to do is you want to heat it so much that it turns into a plastic. And I do every time. I take it under the light and I make sure that it's plastic all the way across the board. The other thing I do is I might wipe with my finger just to make sure that it's good and embossed. And then I really liked this guy with a So Saffron frame around it with little dots. So this was also in the Alpha Best. So I came in with, I'm sorry, not so soft, soft succulent, those S's. So I came in with soft succulent and the little frame that has the little dots on it. And I'm putting it right around the B. And it's just got the sweetest look. So then I come in with my punch. Love this Alpha Best bundle. I come in with my punch and I get it nice and lined up. I pop out my B and there we have it. So that's that guy. So I've done my BOB already. I've die cut my label that I'm going to put it on. And then my tip for adhering when I've got just honestly any number of letters, my tip for adhering is if I've got a long name, I'll kind of bookend it, right? So I'll put like the 2 letters on the very ends just to make sure that I'm going to stay within bounds. In this case, I've got a short name, so I'm going to start with the O in the middle, and I'm going to just kind of place it right in the middle, and then I'm going to center my B and my B around it so that it's got a nice placement. So sometimes you start from the left, sometimes you bookend it, sometimes you work backwards from the right, and sometimes you start from the center. But I've done that, and now I'm going to pop him on a couple dimensionals. I'm going to pop him on my front right here. And now Bob and I have a nice table setting. Put my little ribbon on, but Bob and I have a nice table setting. And I've decided one thing that I'm going to do. So Bob's birthday is Wednesday. That's why I've got to move my normal free class on Wednesday. Bob's birthday is Wednesday, and we have a new dog named Wrigley. And Bob loves Portillo's in the Midwest. He loves Portillo's, hot dogs and beef. So we got a gift certificate from a family member. Thank you. And we ordered the beef sandwiches and the hot dogs. They come on Wednesday, and we've invited just another couple over, that just dear friends. And so I think I'm going to make some table decorations out of the fan club. I don't know if you remember it. It's retired. It was last year's. But I think I'm just going to make up some cute little table decorations out of that. I'm going to dress it down a bit. I might even use paper plates. I'm going to dress it down a bit, but I thought that might be kind of fun. So if I have time before Wednesday, I'll just kind of do that as well. So then I'm going to tie my bow on here, take some time to fussy arrange it and get it just right how I like it. And that is going to be our decoration. So isn't that a great use of this slimline envelope? I told you I have another use for those coming up for a gift card. I can't wait to show you that, but that'll be a future month in the series. So there's our Bob. And now let's get to the final card. This card is so cute. Now, let me tell you a story about this card. This little card, I invented it. So this is, I think it's an easel card. I didn't invent the original designs, but I did size it down so that it could fit into a 3x3. And this does fit into a 3x3 envelope. Well, I gave some a couple years ago to my team members. I put the word believe on it. I decorated it for Christmas. And some people still have them, and they have them out. They just sit right nicely as a table decoration, and they sit right next to you at the desk. And so this is just a great little size, and it's fun, and it stands, and it's just a nice reminder and a nice connection. And so let me show you how you do this. It's actually easier than it looks. So, and I'll decorate the back a little bit too. I'll get that trimmed. So here's all the elements that you're gonna need. And I've got really, really detailed instructions in the PDF as well. But you're gonna start with a 6x3 piece of cardstock. And I'll show you this, but it's in the PDF that you got as well. So I show you step by step by step. You're gonna cut it, you're gonna score it, you're gonna put a couple other little scores, and then you're further gonna kind of cut, and then you're gonna do the fold. So let me show you that. And I'll take you through it step by step, but I just want to assure you the instructions are in the PDF as well. So I've got my 6x3, and the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score it at the 3.5 inch mark. So I'm scored right there. Now I want to score at the 1/2 inch mark right here, and I only want to come down 1/2 inch. So let's see if you can see that. And I'm eyeballing it. You could also do it with a pencil, but I'm just eyeballing it. So I know I want to come in at 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here, and I only want to go down 1/2 inch. And so let me show you carefully if you can see that. I don't know if you can. No. Oh, I know. I'll pull this up. Let's see if we can do that. So I've scored at the 1/2 inch and the 1/2 inch, and I've come down just 1/2 inch of the way. And now I'm going to do the same over here. It doesn't matter if my score mark is, going up or going down. The fold's going to work just as well, but you definitely want these 1/2 inch marks on the opposite end of the 3.5, right? So, and you want them on the same sides. So now I've got 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and then scored there. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cut. And I'm gonna put that to the side because we're gonna score one more time. I'm gonna cut. I love our trimmer for this. So I'm gonna place it so that all the score inch marks are at the top, and I'm gonna take it 1/2 inch over to the right. And I wanna go, basically I wanna cut from right there all the way to right there in a straight line. And let me show it to you on here. So I wanna cut from right there to right there in a straight line. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got them on the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm gonna start like somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna come down to 3.5 because I know I'm 3.5. So I'm looking at this mark right here. I know that that's 3.5. And then I'm gonna go up to the 1/2 inch mark. And I know that that's 1/2 inch right there. So let's take a look and see. And in fact, perfect. We're exactly where we wanna be. So now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to line him up on the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm just going to start somewhere in the middle. I'm going to come down to 3.5. I'm going to go up to 1/2 inch. I'm going to take a look, and in fact, that's exactly what I want there. So perfect. And then one final little step is we're going to come in, we're going to come back to our scoreboard. We're going to line it up right here, and I want to score at the 3 inch mark. Now, I don't want to score the side, I only want to score the middle. But to learn where the 3 inch mark is, I kind of got to go right there. So I'm going to follow along with the track, and then I'm going to do my score mark. So I'm only scoring in the middle right there. So now let's get it folded. So of course I'm going to fold the 3.5. That's super simple, Simon. And then we're just going to kind of do like a W fold or an accordion fold down here. And then that's going to fold up right there. So, again, what did I do? I took this guy it's like a mountain, the first one. The second one's a valley. That's another way to say it. And then this pushes this up and it's just right. And then we're going to score that guy. So that is the shape that we have. Perfect. So now we've got our sweet little guy and we can get him decorated. So here's a few things that I did. I cut the distressed gold in a scallop, and then I cut a basic white, and these are our layering circles dies. We are probably going to have a holiday with friends more than family this year. We live kind of far away from family. So I've got friends like you make this season special, and that is from the Christmas to Remember. But you could absolutely use May This Be a Christmas to Remember and Cherish. That would fit in about the same size. You could use any stamp set, any sentiment. Again, you could use these for many different holidays. And so in this case, I'm using the hand pen scallops to decorate this side. And so I ran that through. It's a smaller scallop. I ran that through, and same principle, I kind of cut off so that the scallops were even on each end. So I'm going to go ahead and line that there. And then I've just got a skinny little quarter strip down here. So I'm going to line that there. And then this designer series paper is for the back. And I want to have another little piece of paper right there, which I think I forgot to cut. So let's go ahead and get some of this stuff glued, and I'm going to glue this piece last. So I'm going to put this tiny little strip right here. I love this. I've used this a couple different times, and it's not that hard, and it just makes such an impact. It's just a really sweet little, and it fits in our 3x3 envelopes. And if you don't know our 3x3 envelopes, they're a great value. They're an incredible value. You get them, I don't know, I forgot how many you get in the pack, but you buy the pack and then they last forever, and they're just soft and luxurious like our regular envelope quality. They're just pretty amazing. All right, so you can stamp on them. They just feel like so luxurious. So what I did there was I cut my 1/4-inch strip a little bit longer, and then I cut it to size, and I just kind of snipped the edge. Now for the scallops, I want to make sure that I put the scallop facing out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I've got suggested measurements. I think that I cut these at 1/2 inch. And you guys, when I run them through, I will cut this to 1/2 inch already, and then I'll line this up and I will tape it. I use a purple tape. You could use a washi tape, but I tape it right against the edge. And I tape it on the outside, the part where it's not going to be showing anyway. It's the part that gets trimmed away. So I line it up as I'm working with it. And then when it comes out, let's say I had done this size, then I would further come in and I would take these scallops and I would run them against the trimmer and get a nice good edge. And then this one just works to cut in half. But anyway, I did that at 1/2 inch. I ended up with these strips. They're perfect. They're exactly the right size. I'm going to go ahead and put them, and you're not really going to see what's going on down here once it closes, but you are going to see the finished top. So I want to make sure that it's looking good up above. So I've got that placed, and I'll take a look. That looks great. And then I thought that had maybe a little too much, a little too much edge showing. So I put a little ribbon. I'll show you that. So then I put that there, and I line that up. What I love about glue is I can reposition it. So I've got that lined up right there. Perfect. And make sure it stays. I would have put a little bit more glue on it, but it's starting to settle in. That is up too high actually. So you're gonna fuss with it a little bit and get it how you want it. See, look, that's what I love about glue. If I'm not, I could move it even if I needed to. So what I did here was I took and I just lined with ribbon right there. Again, you're not going to see the bottom, and I kind of let it go to the edge. Now, this is basically the equivalent of snail. So I'm going to put some snail there. I'm going to put some snail there. And I'm just going to go ahead. You could cut a smoother edge on that ribbon if you wanted. I'm going to put this on the back. And that's how I did that. And then we're going to cover the back. So, and you could come back in with some glue dots if you want for it to just make sure that it stays. But I'm just doing that on both sides so that I get a nice lining. And you want to do it so that it's like, you want to leave the scallop part showing, and you want to have the ribbon just kind of lining the inside. Now I can come in and I can, and I've got the measurements in the PDF, but I can very nicely line the back, which, by the way, this back is going to be showing anyway, because if you're seated at the table, you're going to have the sentiment in the front showing the person that's, you know, the guest that's sitting there, but you might want a nice little lining for the back for people across the way to see a nice lining anyway. So we're going to go ahead and put that on the back, and that's nice. And then I just, pretend I've got a piece of designer series paper there, and then I'm going to pop my friends like you make the season special. And then I'm going to wrap a bow around here on the front, and I'll show you what we end up with. We end up with this sweet little guy. So, and then to keep it consistent across the board, I put my 3 little dots, my 3 little gems across the board, and I emboss this using the same technique that I just showed you. So, and the tray is magnificent. So, so that's our table setting. So one final look, and then I've got an alternative to show you as well. So this is our table setting. You know what? Final tip is I'm using 12 by 12 cardstock. Really, this is just a basic white cardstock. So my final tip for this guy is you could either decorate this placemat, or you could use it basic white as it is. But I've got this guy like this, and let's have Bob showing this time. So I've got this like this, and I can put this like this, and there is our table decoration. But I've got an alternative I'm going to show you as well. So there's that guy. And then let's say you wanted to decorate for the kids' table. Well, I have this guy over here that I've done, and it's super fun. You could dress this guy up, you could dress this guy down. So I also have a table decoration with the gnomes. So again, this is just 12 by 12 designer series paper. I took a plastic cup and the circle, and this way you don't have to, like with the kids, maybe you let them write their own name in. Bobby used to go by Bobby when he was a boy. So you could let them write their name in. Same nugget, and then I just took a gem and put a little top of the tree. And then this guy, I just made him like a whimsical, like the cute little gnomes, and then this iridescent ribbon and the snowflakes and the tops of the trees. So that's super fun. Oh, one of the little gems came off. And then you could even do it with plasticware. So I've got my little gems. I've got my little ribbon right there. I did kind of a belly band. So this was the whites. So the slimline envelopes come in these 3 colors: soft succulent, I think that's gray granite, and basic white. And so I've really been having fun. I can't wait to show you the gift card that I came up with too. So this is design number 2. And I just want to thank you for subscribing. All of the instructions are in a very detailed PDF for you. And please refer your friends to this amazing exclusive content. And thank you for joining today for week 11. And we will see you next week for week 10 So here's our final countdown block. I've been doing, it says 00 because I've been counting down with my sisters. One sister's visiting another sister. So every day I've been taking a picture and sending like, okay, she'll be there in 4 days, 3 days, 2 days. So today was day 0. But anyway, this was week 11, and I thank you for joining. Come back next week for week 10. Bye-bye.